Van here with Van Life Biker Show. Smash that like, give me a sub, and share, guys. Let's build this channel. Appreciate your support. Hey guys, Van here with Van Life Biker Show. I just want to kind of do a little follow-up on the last video, kind of show you guys a little more in detail with what we're dealing with here. I'm out here trying to figure out what we're going to do. As you can see, we've got a 2x4 here, which is what is kind of holding the weight of this piece here. And then we've just got a little trim piece here on the back for the back side of the hinge. So the 2x4 kind of stops, maybe let's just say here on the edge of this trim, so it actually supports the weight of this guy here. So, you know, this lifts up, and this was the problem I was talking about in the last video, guys. So when I flip this up, it doesn't quite stand up on its own, which means we need to move this hinge out farther. So in order to do that, I would have to put a 2x6 or something in here, hence why I ended up doing that on the other side. So instead of a 2x4, I went with a 2x6, which is 2x4 is actually 3.5 inches, 2x6 is 5.5 inches about. So that's going to give me a couple more inches away. So now the hinge would basically kind of overlap in this area where the platform that's going to fold up here for the shower and the toilet, you know, that hinge would rest kind of on the edge of this 2x6. So that shifts everything back. So when this folds up, we'll be farther out and it'll stand up because we'll have a little bit more of an angle, because these Sprinter vans, unless you get the ProMaster, you know, you can, it's probably hard to tell, but they kind of curve in at the top. Those of you guys that are building them and owning them, you know what I'm talking about. So this has created a big issue with kind of folding this up in the seating position. So as you can see, you know, I've got lots of room here, guys. I can put my whole hand in here, even my thumb out some. So folding this in the bed position, not a problem at all. But if we get this over against the wall more, we run into a problem up top. You can see it's pretty close there. We've got, you know, maybe a finger I can put in there right now where it sets. But at the same time, this takes away from my walkway. So kind of in a dilemma with, you know, tearing this all back apart. I'm going to have to pull this, pull the hinge, pull this back piece. The 2x4 will have to come out. I'm going to have to cut this to be able to fit a 2x6 in here, and so on down in the framing all the way down to redo all this. So kind of playing with some ideas, because I'm going to have to lock this in as well. So I think I mentioned it, but once again, it's always good to do a follow-up with a visual. So I want to put a pin through these legs to lock this thing down, but, you know, a removable pin. So with a removable pin, I'll actually be able to take this bed out of here / lounge seat, and you know, I can set it outside if I'm barbecuing or what have you. So it's going to be nice to be able to have them removable as well. But you know, we don't want them flying through the windshield if we have to lock up brakes. So I'm going to have to lock them in here somehow. So I kind of came up with this idea here, guys. Excuse me. This is geez, I don't know, I measured it earlier. It's about 6 inches. We're about 5 inches, it looks like. So I'm thinking of ripping this on the table saw in half all the way down. That's a rip. And That'll leave me 2.5 inches. This guy's about 1 inch thick, and I think I'm just going to butt it pretty close to where the doors open. You know, where this lifts up. I'll leave me maybe 1/8 of an inch or something, a little gap there, so there's no problems with things binding up there. And I'm just going to butt this guy right up against this, and we'll put our pin through this. So this will stick up 2.5 inches. The plywood is 3/4. I put up here for the doors to open up the platform itself. So you know, I'll be able to get a pin through the bottom of this leg into this guy, and it'll be behind the legs on the inside of the actual bed, so it won't take up any foot space when a person's trying to walk in between the two beds. So I think this is going to work out pretty well, and I don't even need to come back here to the shower area because this is just a single anyway. Once this guy folds down, let's see, we can get her down here. See, that locks like so, and you can see it's hitting here on this brace, but if we cut, you know, rip this down 2.5, it's going to be perfect. We're you know, about that far off the ground here now, but plus this will still get another piece of plywood, I'm thinking too. I'll lay a little strip down the center there, and you know, maybe start it back over here because I only need a couple pins. I'm thinking this guy here and that one up front, if I can get pins through into this, it'd be more than enough to hold it into place. When we're driving, it's not going to go anywhere with this being screwed to the platform and then a metal pin running through with maybe a little Carter key type pin or something to hold the pin in there or something, whatever I come up with. Even a bolt and a nut would work great just while we're traveling. So then at night, I'm thinking this could be lifted up to about 2 inches, because we're coming up a little bit too, and this will be 2.5 inches, so you know, less than a couple inches, 1.75 inches, we can lift this guy up over that. I can have the legs on this side at night because we can shift it over farther against the wall because of the curvature, right? So in a down position in a bed, you can get it farther to the wall. So during the day, just pop it up over that couple inches there and put it on this side, and then we can raise this up into a seating position or what have you. So, you know, this is, you know, not even probably 50 pounds, the whole entire bed. So, you know, probably 30-40 pounds in reality. So, and then you're not even lifting the whole thing. So just lifting one side over that direction a couple inches towards the exterior wall there, and then you can just lay it out flat, and this will still be a nice little walkway if a person has to use the bathroom in the middle of the night. You know, this person over here obviously is going to have to be woken up, so, you know, hey, get up, I got to use the bathroom, but that can, you know, just has to be dealt with. This is just a van, but you know, a person that's sleeping over here can get up and just fold their top up like so, and that little arrow type thing falls right into these wedges here, those little cutouts. So just set this piece up is all you're doing, and once that's set up, you'll have enough room to lift this hatch here over top of the shower and toilet, and a person could just step down in there and use the restroom. So 1 out of 2. Me personally, I'm not usually one that gets up in the middle of the night, so this one here I'm working on now would be great for me and the wife, or, you know, fishing buddy, or we go out, whatever, hit Sturgis to go participate in the motorcycle crowd or what have you. That person could sleep over here, no problem with me. I'm not one to get up in the middle of the night at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. I gotta go. But won't be a problem for me in the middle of the night anyway. Unless, it's an emergency. We're all human. But I don't know. It's looking like a better solution than having to redo all of this. And worst case scenario, at the end of the day, this just isn't going to stay up by itself. I had mentioned in the other video I could always do some kind of latch system or something up here on the wall. I mean, I could put a magnet up there or anything just to hold it up. It's real close to staying up. It's just right there. So that's why I know this strip here with a couple more inches in width will be able to bring that hinge out a couple more inches, and this one here folding up against the wall should definitely stay up even if we're not perfectly level. But we want a little give there because that's going to be what holds the shower head as well. So and that's going to be this type here, guys, the shower head on a hose. So that will just attach to the back of this guy here that's going to fold up. It'll attach up there on the wall. Once this folds up, I'll just put the little hook on there that holds it, and probably just toss the shower wand down here behind the toilet or something when it's not in use. And person wants to use the shower, they can just flip it up and hang the wand up there on the hook and ready to go. It's going to work out to about, I figured it out this morning, I think it was about 4.5 feet when this hatch actually stands up. So a guy could put the little hook that holds the shower head itself all the way at the top, and the actual head itself might be 5 feet, but you can always stoop down, or you can sit on the toilet while you're showering as well. You're not going to take a all day all night shower in a camper for the most part anyway, especially if you're off grid. Now if we've got the hose hooked up, we can do such a thing. We got ongoing water in a park, but we don't really have a shortage of water by no means. Fill up the tank there. We got 40 gallons, and I went with the tank type water heater that's got 20 gallons, so I can fill this baby up with 60 gallons of water. So not a real shortage, but you want to conserve as much as you can. If you're out and about, out camping in the wilderness or what have you, you want to conserve as much water as you can. And with 60 gallons of water, I would bet a couple people could probably make it probably a month without having to refill these tanks. So I don't know, I think that's going to be a pretty good solution instead of having to redo all this stuff. So when you're doing this stuff, you always have to change on the fly, guys. Things just don't work out no matter how hard and long you plan. I planned this build for about 6 months before I even bought in. Well, I was buying some things, but before I actually started building, it was probably about 6 months. So as much as you want to plan, things just don't work out. There's curves and things like this setting up in a seating position, it's going to hit the side of the van. So it's going to still work out, but we've just got to make some adjustments. And I may end up having to cut these legs down, I think I mentioned in the last video, because we added a freezer underneath the bed. So I had to come up a couple inches to fulfill that. So once a person's sitting here, the question is your head going to be hitting the roof? And we're actually coming down a little more because of the tongue and groove we're adding, but it's only, I forget, 5/16 or something. It's real thin ply stuff, so that's not going to take up a whole lot of room, but it will drop us down a little more. So the solution to that is I'll have to maybe cut a couple inches off the legs, and that'll give us a little bit more room and back to where I was to begin with. So we just kind of have to adjust things and build on the fly. And I just want to make this aware to people that are getting into this type of stuff and want to do a build, you kind of have to stay open-minded and adjust on the fly and keep on getting it. But you can't plan enough, I'm here to tell you. So on that note, we will catch you on the next time. Sub to the channel, please. Spread to your family and friends. We're doing something good here, just trying to teach you guys how to do things. All of what we just discussed is pretty self-explanatory, but I said it all in the last video, and this time I just wanted to kind of give you guys a visual because I had a better response on the plumbing video. I had done the same thing. So it does help when you give people a visual to see actually the parts and pieces and actually what you're doing, instead of just kind of showing them parts and explaining things. So this is going to work out pretty well, I think. And then I'll probably do the same thing over on this side, guys, so I can attach the other bed on this side, and you know, we'll do the same pin system. But like I said, we don't even need to attach back here. I could fold these things up into the chair position even, and or lay them down, whatever, and just put my pins through those two legs up front, and that'll hold everything into place. So I think it's going to work out this way, and we'll kind of have a little rail system for these legs to kind of ride on, and you know, they won't bounce around as much with being on the road, off-road, whatever, gravel, dirt roads. We might be doing a little bouncing around, so we don't want these things to jump around in here. So, but at the same time, I don't want to nail them to the floor like, you know, 99% do. I'd like to be able to make good use of these too and put them outside, and you know, fire up a barbecue outside, even though I have a full-blown stove oven in here. I don't think I'm sure I showed it in previous videos, but we always have new subscribers, so do a little van tour. Here's our upright refrigerator. Everybody goes with the chest type. This is a wash machine. I will have a dryer mounted up here beside it. It's actually less in width than the wash machine, so hoping that's going to fit right here beside our television. Excuse me. And then there's our tank water heater. This will have a countertop mounted over top of it. Right here's our electrical panel. That's probably going to go down in here somewhere in this little V area. I think I can squeeze it right in there. This is actually going to have to come out a little bit now that we've made these adjustments, but none of that's really bolted in too terribly. This side's just setting in there. I was kind of just trying to find measurements in reality once I got the stove in. So here's we got a 3-burner stove, oven down below, and this is the cabinet I ended up going with. I was building one to begin with, and we ended up tearing that out. So this is a drawer, and we got another deep drawer down below. Had to take this one out because we got our sink up here and our faucet. So you know, everything's coming together, guys. I just want to do a little van tour. Hadn't done that in a while, and you know, we're getting more subscribers every day. So I think we're up to, you know, pretty close to 140 subscribers now, guys. So thanks for sharing the videos and being a part of this channel, and I sure appreciate everything you guys do, the support and what have you. And we'll see you on the next one. As always, any questions or what have you, drop it below. There's a little peek at the front. I'm going to close this in. This will have a little cabinet door up there. I put in heated seats, guys. If you look back on the past episodes, if you guys want to get into maybe installing some heated seats in your van or car or what have you, pretty much all the same. And it's pretty simple. It's just labor intensive, but pretty simple, Simon. So till next time, this is Van with Van Life Biker Show, and we will catch you on the next time. Out.